Hi everyone, and welcome to your restorative yoga with meditation. I hope you're all doing well and holding up in your homes, staying home, washing your hands, and I hope that you're all finding some moments of peace and quiet and some exercise, and I hope that you're doing exactly what you need to do to get through this isolation time, to collectively help the whole planet to get a little bit better here so we can go back to some of the things that we love to do. And I also hope that we get to leave some of our stuff behind when we come out of this so that we can emerge a little bit more present and a little bit more authentic in our lives. And I want to say again how much I miss all of you here. I miss your faces walking into the yurt. I miss hearing you breathing, and I miss watching you all just show up for yourselves and take care of yourselves when you're here. I do not like staring into this camera as much as I like staring at all of you, but I'm really, really happy to offer these practices online for now, so that hopefully soon we can all meet back here and have remained healthy and well and have kept up our yoga practice while we were at home. So tonight, I want to invite you to practice a little bit of meditation with your restorative yoga. Meditation is a powerful tool that all of us can practice to some form or another, and it's accessible for all of us. And right now, when there's a lot of uncertainty and a lot of change going on, a lot of fear and a lot of information coming at us all the time that we don't really know, what we should believe and what we should do. So right now is a great time to practice meditation. Meditation is fairly simply coming back to the present moment. So coming back from these trails, these trains of thought, these storylines or loops that sometimes we go on that make us feel unwell, to the present moment. It's coming back from regretting the past, from past trauma or experiences that we feel wounded from, and it's lovingly bringing ourselves back to this moment that we are in right now. So this tool is going to help you feel better. It's going to help us all feel better about this situation, about your situation, our situation. And it's something that you can do for 2 minutes or 3 minutes. You can sit for 5, you can sit for 20, you can sit for a half an hour. But each time you sit down and you practice meditation, it's like training a muscle. It's going to become more and more apparent and more accessible as you begin, as you show up again and again and again. And one thing that I love about meditation is that when it brings you back to the present, you can each time remind yourself, in this moment, right now, this moment, I'm okay. I'm warm, I'm here, I'm fed, I'm well. In this moment, everything is okay. And that's something that we can remind ourselves when we start to go too far ahead and we start to become anxious. Because it's the moments that haven't happened yet that cause fear and anxiety. It's the moments that already happened that we can't go back into that cause shame and regret. But this moment right now is where we're at. And if we lose this moment, if we're not here for this moment right now, we're missing out on life. So we call ourselves back again and again from our patterns of thoughts, from fear, from emotion, and it's real. It's there for sure. But we gently and we lovingly say, okay, just come back to this moment and just be in this moment right now and look around at what you see, feel what you feel, but stay right here. So the process of coming back to ourselves again and again and again is the training. And we come back to this self, to this moment. And that's everything. It's the good, it's the bad, it's the ugly, it's the wounded, it's the tired, it's the broken down, it's the creative, it's the authentic, it's your whole self that you're calling yourself back to each time you find yourself moving away in our meditation practice. We start to become aware of and in touch with this self, this awareness that maybe we didn't really know before. We hadn't met yet. This light of awareness that lets us know that we're not separate from each other like we think we are. That when I meditate, and I meditate alone, but when I come away from my meditation, I feel so connected to you, to everybody around me, because I know that we can all tap in and we can all access these tiny little moments and glimpses of pure presence, pure awareness. So the way that we're going to come back each time to this present moment is we're going to use our breath. We're just going to take a deep breath in. Let it all out. And follow your whole breath in. Just feel it moving all through the body, down into the lungs, expanding. And then feel that whole breath moving out of you. And you're back. So let's try that tonight with our restorative practice. We will come to be lying over a bolster. And if you don't have a bolster at home, you can quickly make one. You can put one together. And I've already made one. I'm going to show you what I did. So I took a rolled up yoga mat and I rolled a blanket around it. And you can roll a thicker blanket than this, but this is my little rolled up apparatus. And then I tied a scarf around it so that it doesn't come unwrapped. And you could use like a really soft comforter if you want to make it a little bit more soft. So we'll use that and we'll come to be lying over a bolster that's propped up here. So I've got a yoga block, but you can use a pillow or a book underneath. And let's lie all the way back here. So that the bolster lines up your spine and your head is resting. And just pause here for a moment so that you feel your hips on the floor. Let's let our bodies stretch out. Let's take up some space here. Breathe in and feel yourself stretch from your fingers to your toes. And then let your arms come down to your sides. And settle your legs over another support. So a second, perhaps, homemade bolster or some pillows. And we'll start to allow ourselves to relax. Feeling all the parts of your body that are touching the floor now. And really allowing your fingers to relax, your hands to unclench, your feet to soften. Begin to let your calves melt and your thighs soften. Draw the awareness toward the belly and the pelvis, and send a big breath all the way down toward this area. Let it out. Relax your arms heavy down at your sides, feeling gravity pulling the arms heavy into the floor. And if it's comfortable for you, you can close down your eyes. Some people find it more comfortable to keep their eyes open. Remember, this practice is yours. So you get to decide where you can find the most support. You get to decide if you want to cover yourself up with a blanket right now. You get to decide if you need to adjust, to move. But I encourage you to gradually move towards stillness. And as you begin to welcome stillness into the body, begin to listen to the sound of your breath. Hear the breath moving into the body, and hear the breath moving out. And feel the breath sliding cool through the nostrils, down the throat, opening up the upper chest, filling the lungs, expanding the ribs. And then feel the ribs contract, the lungs begin to empty as the breath slides out the throat and the nose. And breathe in. And breathe out. Invite every cell in your body to quiet. Invite your bones to soften. Invite all of your soft tissues to spread out into the support of the floor. Welcome this rest. And come back to your breath. You are right here. That your mind has drifted toward a train of thought, gently and lovingly bring yourself back to your breath. I am right here. And right now, everything is okay. Hear your breath moving in and out as a rhythm now. rhythm of life force continuously moving in and moving out. Washing your body clear from fear, anxiety, wiping out all that you don't need right now. And as soon as you notice that you have moved away from the awareness of your breath, simply come back to awareness of the breath. Skip judgment, skip comparison or criticizing yourself. Just come back and take a breath in. And stay with that whole breath out. And start to gently move your fingers and your toes. And roll your head slowly over to one side. And then rock it over to the other side. Come back to center and give yourself a delicious little stretch. To sit up. Take your time. So it's like you're moving in slow motion each transition that we make. And sit here for a moment. And allow yourself to feel all of the effects from that little rest. Yourself moving back to your in-breath. And letting out a deep sigh. Now take your bolster and slide it underneath your legs. And bring the soles of your feet together in Baddha Konasana. Lift and lower your pelvis a couple of times so that you're sitting nice and squarely into your sitting bones. You can take a second support, a pillow or a second bolster, and put it in your lap if you'd like. And then allow yourself to fold over this. And play around a little bit with how you want to be supported here. You can potentially even stand your bolster up and lean your forehead right down onto it. And as we settle into stillness, we can even rock side to side a little bit to feel the back of our side waists lengthen. So come to the place that feels nice in your body here. And let's start to lengthen and release our back body. It takes a moment or two to feel ourselves fully settling into this pose. So there's no rush at all. Try to let your head hang. So draw the chin toward the throat so that you feel the back of your neck lengthening. Let your shoulder blades spread apart from each other. And feel the head getting heavier and heavier. And if that's a lot of pressure for the back of your neck, you can use support for your forehead. The more support that we use, the more our body and our awareness is going to feel supported. And the more we can let go of stuff and tension and stress that we don't need to keep carrying around. So really, really don't play the tough guy here. Use everything you have to fully support this beautiful body. And say to yourself, I am right here. I'm right here. And send your breath down into the body toward where you are feeling sensation. Breathe into your back ribs. Breathe into your kidneys. Breathe toward the lower back. And let your exhale be an expression of letting go. Moving away from storylines and past experiences. Allowing this exhale to be an expression of I am right here. And stay for a while. But know that often in a meditation practice, discomfort will arise. So you'll feel uncomfortable in the position of your body maybe. Or something will come up like you'll feel impatience, or you'll feel boredom, or you'll feel frustration. Your mind will say, this isn't working. Stop doing this. And you can remind yourself that that's simply another storyline brought to you by your ego mind. And you come back to your breath. Come back to this moment. You keep showing up for yourself again and again and again amazing. So let's take 4 more breaths here in Baddha Konasana. Leaning toward whatever it is you're feeling. So acknowledge it all. Don't try to push it away or suppress it. Yes, I feel bored. Yes, I feel like this isn't going to work. But I'm going to show up and I'm going to try again and again to be present in this moment. Because I'm right here. Now let's take a big breath in, like a big old sigh. Let it out through your open mouth. And again in slow motion, just start to roll yourself up. Move your props off to your sides. And sit tall. And notice what is distracting you. And then come back to this breath. Come back to the sensation in your body as the spine lengthens and your seat roots down. Bring your shoulders up toward your ears and then let them roll down your back. Shrug them up, take them down. And we'll move forward. So take a block now up toward the top of your mat and prop your bolster up again here. And then come down into your right hip. So we'll sit over here on the right hip, which is at the end of the bolster, and our legs come over to the left side. So this is a belly to bolster twist. And then turn and face your bolster. So a hand on either side, and you might even move the bolster to the right a tiny bit so that as you lie down over it, it's going to track right up the midline of your front body. So come all the way down, make adjustments. Wiggle your hips away from the bolster just a little bit. And let's take our right cheek down as well. So start to settle in. You might take your top leg and just move it back behind your bottom leg. And if it feels to you like you're gonna roll to your right, you could always tuck up another bolster or a pillow underneath your right ribs slightly. So this getting to know what you need is a beautiful gift you give yourself. This finding what helps you to relax, what makes you feel good in your body. This sort of systematic realization of what we're holding, where we're guarding. So we can recognize and acknowledge all of that. And then we simply take a deep breath in. And exhale, fully out. And we're back. We're right here. And let's notice how this breath feels in this spine right now, this gentle twist. And start to relax and soften your jaw. your cheek, your temples, relax your arms, take them a bit wider to give you more support. Visualize that your breath is moving up your spine and down your spine. And you might even want to take the block out now from under the bolster. Settle in a bit more. And stay right here. And take just a couple more breaths. Letting your body shift gears down. And then press into the hands. Come up slowly. Tuck your block under your bolster for the other side. And we'll sit up and we'll just put our back to the bolster for a moment. And feel what you're feeling. And then turn onto your right hip, your left hip. Turn the upper body up to face this bolster. Again, just moving that bolster a little bit, maybe to the right now, so that you can peel down. And the bolster feels like it's going to track right up your middle body here. Move the hip away from the bolster so the lower back stays long. Take your left cheek down. Spread your arms out wide. And take the top leg back behind the bottom leg. Breathe into the back ribs. Feel them expand. And as you exhale, feel yourself sinking down, settling in, supported and held by the earth. So that right now, you don't have to hold yourself up. Right now, you're simply receiving breath and rest. Mind moves away toward thoughts, toward what's next. Acknowledge and lovingly return to your breath. Let the breath wash you clean from all stress, all anxiety. Feel a cleansing breath, moving away your habitual thought patterns. Maybe take the block out. And now slowly begin to come back, taking a deep breath in and letting it move out of you all the way. And then pull yourself all the way back up. Turn your back to the bolster and sit. Feel what you're feeling. Now let's lie down on our backs. So bring a bolster underneath your legs again. And you're rolled up. When we bolster your blankets, lie all the way down. We'll give yourself a bit of a stretch here so that we can take some time to move the back into the floor to receive support for our back. Let your shins be like windshield wipers, moving from side to side a couple of times. Let your head be heavy on the mat. And you might even support your head with a pillow or a folded blanket if you feel pressure in the neck or the upper back. So please make sure that you access support. Bring your knees up into your chest. Let them open wide apart from each other. Rock side to side a few times. Let your head roll with your body side to side. Open your knees wide apart from each other. Circle them down and back together and up your midline. Just a really nice, slow movement. Here, letting the hands do the work. Let the hips be soft and receptive. Go the other direction. Extend your legs overhead. Slide your hands up and down the backs of your legs. Just easing tightness in the skin, tightness of superficial tissues in the backs of the legs. Support the outer legs as you open the legs towards straddle. And if this is really intense for you, bend your knees a little. wrists are right above the elbows here. And we're really feeling like the hands are supporting these outer thigh bones so that the legs can be heavy. And take a breath in here. And as you exhale, let your back ribs melt down toward the floor. So get a little bit more grounded, a little bit closer to earth. And then help the legs back toward each other. Take your feet to the other side of the bolster. Press into the backs of your arms and your shoulders. Lift your hips and draw the bolster underneath your hips, under your bum. And move around a little bit until you feel really supported. So right in the sacral spine. Reach your arms overhead. Stretch out one leg or both. Feel this whole front body open. Beautiful place here to really experience the breath coming down toward the belly. So this deeper, more diaphragmatic breath. So as you inhale, let the belly lift and expand like a balloon. And as you exhale, relax. Let the belly drift back toward the spine. Switch legs if just one knee is bent, or extend both legs if that's okay for your lower back. Feel the whole front of your body now. From the palms of your hands across the inner upper arms. Feel the chest, the front ribs, the hollow of your belly. Feel the bowl of your pelvis. Feel the fronts of your thighs, your knees, your shins, the tops of your feet, all the way to your toes. Feel your whole front body. And then slowly walk the feet up to the mat. And as you're ready, bring your knees into your chest one at a time. And extend your legs into the air. And return the arms overhead or out to your sides. Feel how your weight is shifted up into the shoulder blades. And plant and root into the shoulder blades and the backs of the arms so that you feel supported here. And let these feet be light. And feel the soles of your feet experiencing the air up here. Roll the ankles. Spread the toes. Maybe even take some giant steps on the ceiling. And move into stillness. Come back to your breath. This deep, steady inhale, drawing in prana, life force. And this deep and long exhale. Expressing that which you no longer need. beautiful structure to place your body into. The end of the day, if you've been on your feet all day or you've been sitting a lot, this is like a counter pose to all of the doing. This is the undoing. And you can work your way to remaining like this for 15 to even 20 minutes before you go to bed at night. You could even do this in your bed with your feet against your headboard. And this will ensure that you have a deep and restful sleep. This pose brings inversion into our body. So it brings the hips over the heart and the head. Brings the feet into the air, draining the lower lymph system. So this is all stuff that can really, really help to improve or strengthen our immune system and help us to fight sickness, illness, stress, and dis-ease. And mostly it just feels absolutely fantastic to completely change up our body, the perception of our body. These feet get to joyfully hang out in the air and the light. And our mind, our head, our shoulders get to root down and receive this grounding energy from the earth, which quiets and calms our otherwise busy minds. Let's start to move away now. Say slowly. And as your knees come back into your chest, you can wiggle that bolster out from underneath you so that your spine peels back into the mat. And settle your legs now over the bolster. Shift away from the upper body. Let the weight settle back down into the pelvis. And enjoy your Shavasana, your final restorative pose. Feel your breath softening and maybe fading away off of your edges of perception. Let yourself simply be right here without having to do anything at all. Stay here for as long as you like. And I wish you namaste. Deep breath. And sweet dreams.